Canto 6, Circle 3, The Gluttons. Summary. Dante recovers from his swoon and finds himself in the third circle. A great storm of putrefaction falls incessantly, a mixture of stinking snow and freezing rain, which forms into a vile slush underfoot. Everything about this circle suggests a gigantic garbage dump. The souls of the damned lie in the icy paste, swollen and obscene, and Cerberus, the ravenous three-headed dog of hell, stands guard over them, ripping and tearing them with his claws and teeth. These are the gluttons. In life they made no higher use of the gifts of God than to wallow in food and drink. Producers of nothing but garbage and offal, here they lie through all eternity, themselves like garbage, half buried in fetid slush, while Cerberus slavers over them as they in life slavered over their food. As the poets pass, one of the speakers sits up and addresses Dante. He is Ciacco, the hog, a citizen of Dante's own Florence. He recognizes Dante and asks eagerly for news of what is happening there. With the foreknowledge of the damned, Ciacco then utters the first of the political prophecies that are to become a recurring theme of the Inferno. The poets then move on toward the next circle, at the edge of which they encounter the monster Plutus. My senses had reeled from me out of pity. For the sorrow of those kinsmen and lost lovers, now they return, and waking gradually, I see new torments and new souls in pain about me everywhere. Wherever I turn away from grief, I turn to grief again. I am in the third circle of the torments. Here to all time, with neither pause nor change, the frozen rain of hell descends in torrents. Huge hailstones, dirty water, and black snow pour from the dismal air to putrefy the putrid slush that waits for them below. Here monstrous Cerberus, the ravening beast, howls from his triple throats like a mad dog over the spirits sunk in that foul paste. His eyes are red, his beard is greased with phlegm, his belly is swollen, and his hands are claws to rip the wretches and flay and mangle them. And they too howl like dogs in the freezing storm, turning and turning from it as if they thought one naked side could keep the other warm. When Cerberus discovers us in that swill, his dragon jaws yawned wide, his lips drew back in a grin of fangs. No limb of him was still. My guide bent down and seized in either fist a clod of the stinking dirt that festered there, and flung them down the gullet of the beast. As a hungry cur will set the echoes raving, and then fall still when he has thrown a bone, all of his clamor being in his craving, so the three ugly heads of Cerberus, whose yowling at those wretches deafened them, choked on their putrid sops and stopped their fuss. We made our way across the sodden mess of souls the rain beat down, and when our steps fell on a body, they sank through emptiness. All those illusions of being seemed to lie, drowned in the slush, until one wraith among them sat up abruptly and called as I passed by. "O you who are led this journey through the shade of hell's abyss, do you recall my face? You had been made before I was unmade, and perhaps the pain you suffer here distorts your image from my recollection. I do not know you as you now appear." And he to me, "Your own city, so rife with hatred that the bitter cup flows over, was mine too in that other clearer life. Your citizens nicknamed me Ciacco, the hog. Gluttony was my offense, and for it I lie here rotting like a swollen log. Nor am I lost in this alone. All these you see about you in this painful death have wallowed in the same indecencies." I answered him, "Ciacco, your agony weighs on my heart and calls my soul to tears, but tell me, if you can, what is to be for the citizens of that divided state, and whether there are honest men among them, and for what reasons we are torn by hate." And then he, "After many words given and taken, it shall come to blood. White shall rise over black, and rout the dark lord's force, battered and shaken. Then it shall come to pass within 3 suns that the fallen shall arise, and by the power of one now gripped by many hesitations, black shall ride on white for many years, loading it down with the burdens and oppressions, and humbling of proud names and helpless tears. 2 are honest, but none will heed them. There, pride, avarice, and envy are the tongues men know and heed, a babble of despair." Here he broke off his mournful prophecy, and I to him, Still, let me urge you on to speak a little further and instruct me. Farinata and Tegiajo, men of good blood, Jacopo, Restucci, Arrigo, Mosco, and the others who set their hearts on doing good. Where are they now, whose high deeds might begem the crown of kings? I long to know their fate. Does heaven soothe or hell envenom them? And they lie below in a blacker lair. A heavier guilt draws them to greater pain. If you descend so far, you may see them there. But when you move again among the living, oh, speak my name to the memory of men. Having answered all, I say no more. And giving his head a shake, he looked up at my face, cross-eyed, then bowed his head and fell away among the other blind souls of that place. And my guide to me, he will not wake again until the angel trumpet sounds the day on which the host shall come to judge all men. Then shall each soul, before the seat of mercy, return to his sad grave, and flesh and form to hear the edict of eternity. So we picked our slow way among the shades in the filthy rain, speaking of life to come. Master, I said, when the great clarion fades into the voice of thundering omniscience, what of these agonies? Will they be the same, or more, or less, after the final sentence? And he to me, look to your science again, where it is written, the more a thing is perfect, the more it feels a pleasure in pain. As for these souls, though they can never soar to true perfection, still in the new time, they will be nearer it than they were before. And so we walked the rim of the great ledge, speaking of pain and joy, and of much more that I shall not repeat, and reached the edge where the descent begins. There, suddenly, we came on Plutus, the great enemy.